Here's a look at your daily market report on this Friday, the 12th day of September. Want to remind you about a couple of special replacement cow auctions coming up this weekend around the state. Mid-Missouri Stockyards in Phillipsburg. They'll have a sale Saturday evening, 6 o'clock, expecting about 500 head. New Cambria Livestock Auction, they have a sale Saturday at 11 o'clock, expecting about 150 head there. On Thursday, Mocan Livestock Market in Butler, 728 head. The market there, steers and heifers stayed $5 lower. Mid-Missouri Stockyards in Phillipsburg had a sale on Thursday, 983 head. Compared to the previous week, the feeder steers and heifers there, $10 to $20 lower. The steers, medium and large ones, 4 to 5 weights at $4.50, 2.5 to 5.12.50, 5 to 6 weights at $400 to $4.58, 6 to 7 weights at $3.66 to $4.10, a few 7 to 8 weights at $3.50 to $3.70. The feeder heifers weighing 4 to 500 pounds, $392.5 to $427.50. 5 to 6 weights at $360 to $393. A few 6 to 650 pound heifers at $360 to $362. Box beef cutout values at midday. Choice down 30 cents at $400.49. Select down $1.68 at $378.27. Those values based on 92 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The Choice Select spread at $22.22. Negotiated feedlot trade for the week, 44,110 head reported so far. Texas, light volume, 507 head, 238 to 240. Kansas, light volume so far, 516 head, 238 to 240. Iowa's reported 14,945 head so far, 237 early in the week up to 240 late week. Dress sales, a few from 375 early up to 380 late week. Nebraska's reported 20,641 head, basically the same thing there. Early sales in the week, live 237 up to 240 late yesterday afternoon. Dress sales 375 early up to 380 late yesterday. Taking a look at the futures markets at midday on the Mercantile Exchange, everything in the livestock complex a bit lower this morning. Unsure if that's just some weekend profit taking or there was a few scattered rumors floating around today. Yet to know if anything's really there to amount to anything with those, so we're not even really going to mention them a whole lot. But those futures markets are currently down. Volatility continues this week. October live cattle down $1.92 at $230.35. December down $1.77 at $232.35. February down $1.40 at $233.85. Feeder cattle for September down $307, $250.15. October $435 lower at $338 even. November feeders at $345.70 down $477. Lean hogs for October down $1.07 at $97.10. December $88.80 down $45. February at $90.45 down $12. Taking a look at the grains at midday. Of course, we had those two big national reports come out about an hour ago as of the recording of this report. The monthly crop production report as well as the monthly WASDE report both came out. Looks like early glancing at those reports, there wasn't really any big surprises that I noticed anyway. The corn yield was dropped slightly from last report. If you recall, the last report was expecting yield nationwide to be 188. They did drop that down 2.1 bushels to 186.7. Soybean yield was also dropped slightly to 53.5 bushels per acre. That being said, both of those crops are still expected to be all-time records if those yields do materialize. On the futures markets today, September old crop corn at $398.5, down a half penny. The rest of contracts fractionally higher. December $420.5, March at $438. No trade this morning on the September bean contract. The rest of contracts 7 to 8.5 higher. November new crop beans up 8.5 at $10.42. January at $10.61, up 8.5. Wheat, no trade on the September. December's 4 cents lower, $5.17.5. March down 3 1/4, $5.35. No trade on the September bean mill contract this morning. October's up 80 cents at $286.90. The rest of contracts 10 to 20 cents a ton lower at midday. No trade on the September oil contract this morning. October up 68 cents at $51.76. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's your daily market report. This is Tony Hancock.